Alright guys, beautiful morning right here on our farm. As I always told you, one of the secrets to making your pigs get healthy is to give them vegetables. You see right here is the entire bowl of vegetables. We have the water leaf right here, and we have this other vegetable. I don't know if you know the name. This other one, they call it tete over here in this side. But we're going to be giving this to the pigs. So after this, then they would have their compounded feed. All right, let's get into the video for today. So I want to talk about cassava peels, the use of cassava peels for pigs. I'm sure there are different opinions about this out there, so I'll be giving you my take in this video and my own candid advice to you to ensure you can have a profitable pig farm. All right, if you're new to this channel, please ensure you subscribe to this channel. As you know already, we already have and we'll still be bringing to you lots of great content on how to run your farm, how to have the right profits on your farm. So in this video, let's quickly talk about cassava peels. Cassava peels in this side of the world, in West Africa, is a byproduct of cassava, and it's always available in large quantities because of the rate of consumption of cassava flour. In this side, we call it gari. We call it gari in this side of the world. That's cassava, the produce, the finished product of cassava. So one of the compelling ideas for pig farmers is to make use of the peels of cassava to run their farm. Obviously, because it's very much available, and it's sometimes even free, but in any case, if you are even going to buy it, it's going to be quite very cheap. So that makes it very compelling to make use of cassava for their feed ingredients, to add cassava to your feed ingredient. Now let me give you my take on this, and I'll quickly share a story of a consultant that I know very well. And I heard of his story of how he went to a farm, consulting on a farm, and on getting to the farm, of course, one of the situations that was going on that farm was that the pigs were dying. The pigs were dying. So the pigs were having this. There was this issue on the farm, and because of that, he was called upon to consult to check up the situation. Now, one of the things he discovered while interviewing the worker on the farm is that the worker do give the pigs cassava tubers. Cassava tubers. Now, and the argument of the worker was that pigs eat anything. Yes, of course, pigs eat anything. But if you're running a commercial pig farm, you don't want to give your pigs anything. Pigs are omnivores, and so there is a tendency to see that they can feed on several byproducts of kitchen waste, and even brewery waste, and many of these waste products you have out there. But you need to understand that before you feed your pigs all these things, even though they may eat it, you need to ask yourself, is this going to be beneficial for the animals? Now, if you can research, you can check the internet to research on cassava as a whole. Cassava contains what we call cyanide acid. The cyanide acid in cassava is extremely dangerous to pigs, especially in large quantity, and especially for younger pigs. So cassava has cyanide acid, which is detrimental to the health of your pigs, and that's one of the main reasons why you may get your pigs getting sick and probably dying off. And that's why I would advise that you should ultimately avoid the use of cassava tubers. Cassava tubers is not good for pigs. Cassava tubers contain cyanide acid. Now, even for the mature pigs, I would not advise you using cassava tubers. Now, but what about cassava peels? And the next question you ask me is, are there not any ways we can give our pigs cassava and still ensure that it's not harmful to them? Yes, the answer is a capital yes. There are ways you can make use of cassava byproduct for your pigs, but ultimately not using cassava tubers, because cassava tubers is still containing a lot of cyanide acid. But now people use cassava peels, and they use cassava peels in different form. Some people decide to dry the cassava peels. The dried cassava peels, obviously, by subjecting the cassava peels to heat, to the sun, you would have gotten a reduction in the cyanide content of the peels. Now, the other alternative some people use is to make use of the soaking method, where they soak their cassava peels for probably like 3 days so that it gets to ferment, and in that process, it loses that content of cyanide acid. It loses the toxicity of cassava that cassava does have. So in that process, you're able to detoxify your cassava peels and get them useful for your pigs. So now let's quickly talk about the age factor also. I would not advise you to give any of this product to younger pigs. I will even the dried product, I would not personally advise it. Of course, you can do what you want to do and check for yourself how it works for you. But I would not advise that you give this. I would not advise that you give this size of pigs cassava peels. I obviously would prefer you give them the creep feeds and get them very much healthy, rather than subjecting them to the cassava peels. But when you have older pigs, when you have pigs that are much older, probably finishers towards the finisher state, they're already about to be sold off. Those ones, obviously, you want to cut costs on them. You don't, because you are about to sell them. You don't want to spend so much on their feeding, because in the end, it's all about making profit. So in that case, I could advise you can introduce the cassava peels to them. But I would personally, as much as I can, let me give you my own personal take on my own desire for the use of cassava peels. I would not use cassava peels personally, because of it's just too risky. I've had an experience with a friend, and a friend has had an experience. He even used what they call the high quality cassava, HQCP. The HQCP, I bought the machine, and I bought the grinding machine, and we went through the process of grinding the cassava peel, then pressing it. But for some reasons which we are not able to know exactly, we discovered that he had issues with his pigs. And then, of course, that has already made my mind a bit hardened against cassava, because I think you don't want to make such risk when you are running a business like pig farming. So as much as possible, if you are able to process it properly, I would advise you can start with a certain section on your farm. Don't introduce cassava peels to every animal in your farm all at once. You can try probably like 1 or 2 pigs in a pen and see how it works for them, and see if it works well for them. Then after doing that, you can then gradually introduce to your matured pigs. So that'll be all for this video. I really hope you enjoyed it. If you enjoyed this video, please give a thumbs up. Lots of great quality content on how to run your pig farm will be made available consistently on this channel. I will bring it to you lots of other great content on other kind of agricultural practices. Thank you very much. Bye bye.